Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Coffee and Create, y'all. Come on in. I'm having a giant cup of coffee this morning. I hope you are too. I hope your coffee is sweeter than your grandma. And I hope she was super sweet. I hope your day is not foggy like ours is. I hope your day is filled with love and fabulousness. And if it has not yet, I'm getting ready to share some with you. Welcome to Coffee and Create. I am Diane Pruitt. I'm the proprietor of Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. Sometimes people ask me why I'm not an owner. Good morning, Lynette. 2 cups. This is about 2, maybe 2 and a piece cups. I'm gonna drink this morning. But I'm not an owner. I'm a proprietor. And the difference is I don't own the things in this store. I paid for them, but they're here until you come find them. This is a treasure shop. This is a treasure store. Come plunder and find your special treasures, even if your special treasures mean that we're gonna make them. Because I love to make things, and you are always welcome to come to the studio and make things. We have a list of projects that we have been doing in January, and can you believe it is Tuesday, January 31st. How did we get to the end of January so quickly? I'm not sure, but I'm gonna tell you what, this year's probably gonna roll like a rock coming down a hill. So every chance you get to create and play together and have fun, take that time. It is going to be a busy, wonderful, fun-filled, crafting, creating, upcycling year. And I am thankful to spend that time with you. Say hello if you're coming in. Have you found and watched Oksana's videos on YouTube? Garden with Fairies DIY, and that DIY makes a big difference because there's a lot of Garden with Fairies on YouTube. But let me fresh your memory and share the screen so I can show you these. So we did some multitasking, remember? And this is where we were when we left off with the cutie little bird decoupage, right? And the sunflower on the jar. These are reverse decoupage. So you leave this little window right here so you can see your image through kind of the looking glass. So I fell in love with Oksana's videos, and I wanted to share with you my takeaway and my inspiration from her videos. So I'm gonna pull my bracelet up. Isn't that cute? Ariel brought that home for me, that sweet child. It was so special. But I wanna go a little bit further with this than Oksana did. She did it differently, and I was amazed. So I was inspired by what she did, and I want to do more. Let's split this screen so I can work and talk with you, because I will do both. I've got another bottle over here warming so that I can get the label off, and I have plenty of brushes. So I'm using my small brushes. You should have some good furniture paint brushes. You should probably also have some amazing detail brushes in your toolkit. And when I saw Oksana do this part, I wasn't really positive what the end game was here, because we're painting over our image. We're just painting over it. And I wasn't exactly sure why. Now I'm going to leave some spots without the white on it, and I'll show you why in just a sec. But the more I do this and the more different times I watch her video, the more I understand why we're doing things like this. Because you want to know, don't you? I could be wrong, but I believe that when you do this, you really brighten the image on the other side. So this would be our image. So let's test the theory. I could be wrong, y'all. It's just what I think. And you know, I think a lot of things. But today on the Coffee and Create collection, you will still find the colors of love. Today's the last day that you can save on those colors with your Rethunk Junk bag if you are a bag holder. And if you're not a bag holder, don't panic. Don't panic. We sold out of the bags, y'all. And what is the bag? Well, even if you're not local, you can get a bag when we replenish, because I'm working on that now. But if you are a bag holder, each month this year, you will be able, when you bring your bag back to Two Girls Treasure, you will be able to purchase the colors of the month, the kit, at a special discount that is only for the bag holders. Also, if I have any special offers, not just a discount, but an offer, you will be entitled to that offer. Now you have to bring your bag. If you're not local and you purchase online, that's okay. You show me a picture of your bag and I will fulfill your orders. Just kidding, just kidding. You can't really do that, can you? That's okay. That's all right. I will know who you are if you order online and I ship you your bag. So we're sold out right now. It's okay. I will get more and we can share those special offers because I like to share. I can see how it brightens the image from the back to the front. I'm going to leave my brush in the white because we're going to use it again. But I'm also going to use some gold. I'm also going to use gold. And I should probably just stick with the program. But, you know, I'm not going to. You know I'm going to do my own thing over here, right? Speaking of my own thing, let me share an image with you. Let me share this with you because it's crazy, right? Look at this. That's a real functional image of our Iron Orchid Designs wall. That's like right now. That picture is the way it looks right this very minute in this store. No, I am not sold out. Yes, we are completely remodeling that wall and that area so you will be able to come by the store and find your favorite Iron Orchid designs, and that includes the brand new designs that are coming out soon, because I know you're waiting for those. I'm waiting for those. I am going to let you know time I get a shipping notification that they're on the way. And they will be on the way soon. And when they do arrive, as you can see in that image, we'll be ready. We will be totally ready. Totally ready. So let me put you back in. Let me get this one. There we go. There we go. We'll be ready. Are you ready? I see so much with the new products and the combination with some of the existing products. I've been studying them so I can get some pieces ready to refinish so that when the new products get here, we can just rock out some new furniture and decor. And I can teach you how to do paint inlays, because I've had a lot of people tell me paint inlays are not their jam. They're not sure. They're expensive. They don't want to mess them up. I don't either, y'all. I don't want to mess them up either because they're expensive for me too. But the cool thing I love the most about the paint inlays is that they're reusable. So unless you just shred it when you take it off, I'm gonna turn the fan on right here. Unless you just shred it when you take it off, it's reusable. And I have found a way to use it with rethunk junk, and I want to teach you how, so I'm really excited about it all. Now, I'm going to put that one in front of the fan. Let's let that dry. And I have this sunflower. Let me check the temperature on this bottle. We'll move that over. I have this sunflower one that we did, and I want to brighten those sunflowers. So I'm going to break out my rethunk junk marigold. So Heather, if you're watching, this is the marigold that we were talking about for your doors, your front doors. This is a beautiful shade. It's not a pastel yellow, but it's not so mustardy that you can't live with it. Let's take a look. It is a beautiful shade of vibrant yellow, sunshine yellow, marigold. It really is all that. I'm gonna get a brush because this one, I don't need that one. This jar, I'm gonna do the whole thing. I've got some crusty edges right here where I made room for the frames. And I'm gonna go ahead and get a good little bit of marigold on my brush. And I'm gonna go ahead and brush over. I think she just did her sunflowers, but she also just cut out her sunflowers. I'm gonna do it all. I'm gonna do the whole thing. Let's just paint the whole jar. The more I do this, the more I experiment with how it's done, the more I realize there's really no wrong way to do this unless you don't make, a spot to see through the jar. I'm gonna definitely put fairy lights in this because it will be simply amazing, complete. But there's so many different ways you could task this, and it's not gonna be wrong. So play with it unless you cover up like the spot, just like I said. So I'm gonna wipe that back and move that paint because I didn't want it right there. I didn't want it right there. That's my frame spot. That's where we're gonna look through the looking glass. I'll grab my rag and I'm gonna clean that off because that will drive me crazy. Sorry. We're gonna do another different thing with this. Oksana did some amazing hand-rolled clay pieces on her jars. I don't know that I'm gonna get to that. But I'll tell you what I am gonna do. I'm going to do not hand-rolled clay. I am going to do clay molds. And I wish I could send Oksana a mold. I would. Because I would just be fascinated to see what she would conjure up with it because her work is so amazing. I love to follow people who have such a creative heart. Did you catch the photo of the finished Cloverfield table? And when I say finished, I mean I forgot to put the feet on and took a picture. I sure did. Do you want to see it? Because it's pretty. Let's see. We're recording. We are recording. I have my phone to my right so I can catch some notifications. See how beautiful Marigold is? And that's just one kind of scattered coat because I didn't want a full-on coat on that. Let me turn this and I'm gonna set it down in the fan. There we go, let's get some more fan. Now, I need to take the label off this jar. So it's cold this morning. I have heated this. I'm gonna set it down here. I don't want prep all over everything in my world that's on my table. Although, I need you to know, prep is non-toxic, but you don't want to drink it. It is not caustic, so it won't damage your hands. I know I have razor blades right here because I was using them. And you'd think I could see them. You'd think that. I would think that. But these readers are not doing a job, y'all. They're just not. Found it. It was right where I left it. I didn't even really have to get up. I just couldn't see it. These readers are not doing a job. So I absolutely love the shape of these bottles. They're pretty amazing. And these labels, once I get them warmed up, the label will pull right off. Some of the sticky stays. So here's what I do. Finish getting all the label off, and I'm going to spray it with prep again. Goo Gone will do this, but Goo Gone will leave a residue, and I can't stand the residue. So I've sprayed this with prep. I'm just going to take my little scrubby sanding block, and I'm going to go ahead and knock this off. Because I can't use that spot with glue on it for my looking glass spot, and I can't use it for the back side of the decoupage because then it'll have glue. So if I just spray it with prep and my little scrubby sanding block, I get that glue off, and then my bottle is clean and ready to rock out. Clean, ready to rock out. Now, let me go to my white. I've got a couple of little, no, that's dry. That's dry. All right, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna white the whole thing this time. Okay? Might be doing it wrong, but I'm gonna go with it. Play along with me. Just, you know, just like I'm doing it right. So, away we go. Dun, dun, dun. There's a lot of steps to this, but honestly, the steps it takes to get from here to there, they don't take long to do. It's just a lot of steps. It's like a really good cake recipe. It doesn't take long. You just have a lot of steps to go through. And once you go through them, well, it will be fabulous. Fabulous. And I'm gonna put my eyeballs on my... Remember how I told you to save, when you separate the napkins, save the white pieces because we're gonna use them? This is the time. So we're gonna let this sit in the fan for just another quick minute or two. We're gonna let that dry. That's why you can do multiple jars, because you do small steps and then you work it, and then you do more small steps and then you work that. Let me grab my white tissue. I've got a stack of I've been crafting over here. And I've got my little white nappy napkins. My little stack of white nappy napkins are not right there. I put them away, y'all. Can you believe that? Here they are. All my little whites. Got them. I've got my roses too, because that's what I'm going to use today. I want my roses. So I've got my rose napkin. This is actually tissue paper. Good morning, Miss Judy. Oh, thank you. Taylor said the sweetest thing to me yesterday. And at my age, it was sweet. She said, "Did you color your hair?" "No, it's just down. You don't see the gray?" She said, "No, it just looks good down." Thank you. I usually have it pulled up so it doesn't get in the paint, because my hair finds its way into the paint, Miss Judy. So thank you. That is so, so sweet. All right. We have saved, like, literally all the scrap pieces that we were working on. I even have a paper towel in here. We're not using that. I don't want the texture. Now, when I separated the sunflower napkin, it left, let me flip this over, it left the impression of the sunflowers. It left the color of the sunflowers on that second sheet. Can you see that? It's really faint, but it's there. So I can still use that. I can still use that. And I took these little bitty pieces and I toned them down inside the jar. I'm gonna turn these. They're drying quick because I have the heat on too. We saved the white pieces, remember? Save your white tissue when you separate your napkins. See how big that one is? Save your white tissue when you separate your napkins, because you're gonna use these. We're gonna use these. I'm gonna set that right there. And I'm gonna go grab my wreath on gum. We need that. And I'm gonna shake it, shake it, shake it. And I've got a little cup right here to pour it into. Ooh, I'm excited about this, y'all. Did you see the green table? Miss Judy, I know you saw the green table. Lynette, did you see the green table? You want to see it? Look. Look. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Hang on, let's do solo on this. Boom. I took that picture and I forgot to put the feet on it. I sure did. I forgot to put the feet on, and I'll put them back on today. I will put them back on today. It'll be okay. I think I did that backwards. Let's see. A and then B. That's better. I don't know. Maybe I'm still backwards there, but it's okay. It's okay. All right. Wreath on Gunk, this is our decoupage medium. Thank you, Lynette. You know what? Cloverfield is such a bold color. It is there. It is green. But it's so pretty on a piece of furniture. So pretty. And I love it. All right, let's check this. There goes a piece flying. Oh, that's gonna be so pretty. Now I made a mistake with my sunflowers. The sunflower napkin had a black line in it, and I didn't pay close enough attention. I don't know if you can see inside, but there is a black line. Look how bright that got with the paint on it. There's a black line in there and it's driving me crazy, and I can't get it off because it's already decoupaged on. But look how bright the paint made that. Yeah, now you can see the black line, right? Right across there. You see it? Uh-huh. So we're gonna live through it. We're living, we're crafting, we're creating, we're recycling, and we're learning from my mistakes. That's what I meant to say. We're learning from my mistakes, and that's okay. That's the thing to do. Learn from my mistakes so you don't make them. I've got all my scrap pieces. I just don't want to part with them because there's a lot there. I'm going to put them in that cup. I'm going to do the same with this because I want to keep this. Look how bright that got inside with the white. Let me turn it. Look how bright that got with the white and the gold on the back. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing? Isn't that pretty? Can you see how bright? Now wait until I put the candlelight in there. It's gonna be amazing. But let's do this one more time. So I've put the paint on. I've got my paint. I'm gonna set my paint to the side so I don't get my shirt sleeves involved in it. And I'm gonna grab one of my 1/2 inch and I'm gonna get out my 3rd ply, my extra piece. And let's just go ahead and shred it. I like it shredded. I like the texture it gives. So shred that into some pieces and let's do it again. Let's decoupage it again. We're gonna put more white napkins over the paint that's over our reverse decoupage, because the more layers we have on here, the more texture we have on here, and the brighter the inside becomes. And the brighter the inside becomes, that's how cool it's gonna look once we put the fairy lights inside or a tea light inside. It's gonna look so good. I'm gonna shred this one more time. Tick two. And Michelle, yes, this is one of the lovely, beautiful napkins you sent me. And I'm glad I saved them so that I could do this project with them because it's just super cool. Super cool. And napkins are so pretty. Thank you for sharing those with me. Michelle, do you have snow? Do you have ice and snow? If y'all follow Danny Martin from High Cotton Decor in Arkansas, she is closed today because of the weather. Now that would be something I would expect to hear from someone, you know, in the northern tier states, not in Arkansas, on the last day of January. Now, whoever laughed when we had thunder and said that old wives' tale's really not true, you're the reason why there was so much. Shame on you. Because in my lifetime, when we have thunder in the winter, I think there's pretty much always been snow and ice following. Now, praise God, we have not had any here. I am not built for snow. Not built for snow. We haven't had it, so I'm thankful and I'm hopeful that that stuff just fizzles out before it gets here. I'm back around to my looking glass window, so I'm gonna leave that. Let's see if I can tear that off or trim it. I've got my fabric scissors right here. I'm gonna trim this back. And 1-ply napkin sheets constitute fabric, I think. Don't they, Lynette? Oh, y'all, Remember the table and chairs? Remember how I showed you the table and chair set that I was working on? And I took the chairs and the skirt of the table from a pure black to cloud, which is pure white. And that was a task. And I brushed them. I didn't spray them. I brushed them. And they look so good. And she was so tickled. And the china cabinet base, well, that's the one we've been working on. That's the one that had the chalk paint on it that just wiped off with prep and a razor blade. And I stripped it. And I was very frustrated that that paint did that thing. Well, would you like to see that china cabinet today? Well, actually, this photograph is from last night when we delivered it and set it up, and then we stayed and helped her decorate it. Taylor went with me. Y'all, look at this. I'm going to do solo so you can see it. Look how good that china cabinet turned out. And we stayed and helped her decorate with her blue and white. It was so pretty. And she was so happy. So happy. And I'm thrilled that she was happy. And you know what? That's nothing but Rethunk Junk Paint products. Nothing but some Rethunk Junk Paint products. And it made someone very happy. Made me happy because I was stressing over it. Do you stress when you're doing a project? Whether it's for yourself or someone else? Are you flipping furniture and you stress? Yeah, that is a real item in life. That's a real item. This is all covered with another layer of napkin and Rethunk Gunk. And I am going to set it over here. The heat is on it. I don't want to turn the fan on yet because we're going to do this now. So let's grab, I'm still going to get a small napkin. I don't think I need a giant one. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shred this out into strips and sections. Strips and sections. So that way, well, that didn't go well. That didn't go well either. There we go. I was trying to tear it on the seam. You're about 40 miles south, so just rain there? Okay. Well, today's a great day to just sit at your studio table and you put the laptop over here and sit right here and do one of these projects with one of those beautiful decoupage napkins you have. All right, because this is good and dry, let's put a little bit on. Let's go around that looking glass. I'm going to cut a little bit more of this out. And I'll turn the fan on in just a second. But we're going to do another one of these. We're going to do another sunflower. And I'm going to do it right this time. Okay? I'm going to do it the right way. There we go. And I like the texture of decoupage when it's not perfect. If you don't and you want it completely flat and smooth, take your heat gun or your hair dryer when you're doing a rounded surface after you get it on there, and as you dry it, and I've got the heat on it, but it's still, I like the wrinkly texture. But you can smooth it out. And if I slowed down a little bit, I probably wouldn't have so many wrinkles. But I am a little panicky this morning because I was running shy on some time. But I got here. Only a couple of minutes late, but I got here. There we go. Tink-a-tink. Today is your last day, if you're a bag holder, to save on the Colors of Love. And tomorrow we'll have new specials for you for February, so stay tuned for February specials. Unless you want to hear them right now. We can do them right now. Do you want to do them right now? Thanks, Michelle. They are lovely. They are just absolutely lovely. And I don't want to ruin a surprise, but I'm just thinking I need to finish my jar, my Oksana inspired jar, and I need to send it to Tennessee. Is what I'm thinking. With a little tea light in it so you can prop it up on your studio table. Y'all, Michelle and I, we go way back. We're getting older. We're still growing though. Michelle, don't you tell anybody we're getting old. We're growing. Morning, Alice. How are you? Good morning, honey. We're just drinking coffee and doing things, crafting and things, decoupage and things. We're fixing to do some things. Wait till you see. I'm gonna turn this. The heat might be, let's see if I can do it on, I'm not gonna do it on low. I'm gonna do it on wide open high, y'all. There goes my napkin pieces. All the way down in the floor. I'm almost done with them though, so it's okay. I'm gonna put this one right there and watch it fly. Here we go. Oh, where'd that thing go? It hid right there. All right. Shoo-wee, there we go. Right there. We can cut away the excess when we get done. It won't be easy, but we can do it. Because I'm going to tell you something. Rethunk gunk gets rock hard when it dries. Just like the paint. It is made to last. Made to last. But I want that white jar dry so that I can show you what I want to do. You can see these right here, right? These are next. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 molds and the air dry clay. I think I forgot to put the clay on the Coffee and Create collection, but I will put it there when we get done. If you want some clay so you can replicate my replication, I will put it in the collection for you. And you can save 10% on any of the Coffee and Create collection products while this video is up, and you purchase through the video. If you're on my website, right there, there'll be a little button that says shop, and so you can shop. And when you do, you check out with the coupon code coffee, because I'm very original like that, and you can save 10% on any of the products that I'm using to create these projects. I'm trying desperately not to let my, there we go, desperately trying not to let my pieces fly. I'm gonna put another one right there, and I'm gonna put another one right there. I almost think sometimes I should have the camera over my shoulder so you can see everything I'm working on. If you ever want to join me to do one of these Coffee and Create projects, let me know. You can come in during Coffee and Create. You can. You can also just schedule a time that you're coming through Florence and are available. We schedule in 2-hour sessions, and it doesn't matter if anybody else is in, or if you want to invite your friends and family and other sundry people that you've met at Starbucks, that's fine too. Everybody's welcome. And we'll sit down at the studio table and we'll do these projects. And if you're not local, you just order all of the materials that you want to use through the Coffee and Create collection, and then go back and watch the video whenever you're ready to get started, and you'll be able to do your project at home, and then you can send us a picture and go, I did this, because I love to share pictures and creativity, even if it is from all the way across the globe. I mean, who would have ever thought? This needs to dry. This is getting good. This is getting good. So we're going to put it right here. I'm going to turn the fan wide open. There we go. We're going to dry those. Now, I'm going to move my decoupage to the side. I have my Titebond glue. This is my favorite glue for everything I work with, from my wood repair projects to my mold castings. It works on metal, it works on glass. Titebond Quick and Thick multi-surface glue. They do not give me this glue to tell you that. I wish they would. But I buy this glue because it is that good. And it's what I love to use when I am doing my molds. And you might love it too. I'm gonna grab my rag and I'm gonna clean up. I'm messy, so I got my rethunk gunk on the table, and I don't want gunk mixed up with my clay. I'm gonna turn these, turn them just a little bit, and turn my fan, get my fan right up on them. Is that too noisy? Is the fan too noisy, y'all? All right, so here's the thing. We have these amazing frames molds. There's frames 1 and 2. Here's 1. I love this. So many pieces to choose from. And then here's 2. 2 giant frame pieces. These are so pretty. My goal here is to use a frame and not fill this cavity in the center. This is really fancy. I think this is going to look amazing with the birds. But I also have these. And with my clay, I can choose which one I want to use. And I believe I can make this work. I love this oval. Just like more than anything that I use, I love this oval. So I think I'll use this oval. And you know what? This one is fantastic too. This would probably look really good with the sunflowers. Maybe this for the sunflowers and this for the birds. What do you think? Frames 2 for the birds and frames 1 for the sunflowers. What do you think? I think it's a great quandary to have. Absolutely love them. But we're not only going to do the frames. Remember I told you Oksana used hand-rolled clay. She made her own clay. The girl's an overachiever. She made her own clay, and then she embellished her bottle with her hand-rolled clay. I am 1, not that good, and 2, not that patient. So I got out the rosettes because these are super cute. Little tinies, nice medium sized and big ones. I think I'll use these. I'm gonna experiment with them. You know, I got out my sunflowers mold to go with my sunflower jar, my sunflower bottle. I also got out butterflies because butterflies. This is the Monarchs mold. All of these are actually on the Coffee and Create collection today. So you can buy them and save 10%. None of these are retired. None of these are retired, and you cannot combine the retirement sale discount with this one. The retirement sale discount is good through midnight tonight, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So Alice, you have a few more hours than we do to think it over. But if you want any Iron Orchid Design products that are retiring, buy one of them. buy one of the not retired products and you'll save 20% off each one. I also got my birds mold out. I love this. What is this called? I can't remember. I didn't even write it on the back. This one. What is this one called? Birds. That's not the name of it, but this is what we're using. So we have birds and butterflies and sunflowers and rosettes and frames. Because I'm an overachiever and I want all of the things. And if you look at the size, now I need to trim this out right here with my handy dandy razor blade that I laid down right here. And what I want to do is just ease some of this off of here so that I have a little bit bigger opening to look through. This is just such an Alice in Wonderland project. We have our own looking glass here. So I'll trim this back out and I'll have a much better space that we can see through. And I'll have to clean it up. I've got Decoupage medium on it, and look, at just with the razor blade it'll just scrape off. It will. How we doing for time? Ooh, bird song. Thank you, bird song. Hey Lisa, the entire name just completely left me, and I knew it wasn't birds, but song did not come to mind. So thank you for saving me. But I'm glad you're here, Lisa. And Paula, thank you. Thank you for saving me. I love that. And I believe this is my sunflower mold. I believe that will fit just nice over that. So let's let that dry. And let's take our mold and a brand new pad of clay. Oh, listen, I love this sound. Listen to it. Ready? That's the sound of brand new air dry clay popping open. It is the most supple, fabulous clay to work with. It's yummy. That's what it feels like. If yummy could feel like something, it would feel like this. When you are, even though I'm at my studio, even though I am not through, cover this over. Cover this over because one, I've got the heat on and the fan on, and air will dry it out completely. Now this is gonna be a task right here, but here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fill this cavity. I'm gonna try not to fill this center because I want this center open. Even if I get some of the center, I can take my razor blade and trim it out where I need it trimmed out. So, you know what? I'm not gonna worry whether I get some in there. I'm just gonna put it. So with our micro rim, I can clean it back. It puts the clay right back on my thumb. It puts it right back on my thumb so that all I have to do is keep moving. A little bit more clay, a little bit more micro rim. I'm not worried about the center, but I will pull my excess because I don't want to lose that. And that was a big old chunk. I'm gonna smooth it down, smooth it on around. Did you know you don't have to use the mold in its entirety? Like, this has this amazing beveled center. So when you take it out, you have a convex, almost like one of those old oval pictures, right? You have a convex finish. But if you don't want to use that part, you don't have to. Just do a workaround. And you can do this with any mold set you have. Now, you've got to be patient and you've got to think through how you're going to do it and work it. And then you might have to trim it back, but that's okay. trim it back when you need to, and create the mold the way you want it. Just the way you want it. I love this. I'm gonna roll it out, smash it out just a little bit. Run it down that frame edge. Run it across that micro edge. You know, Iron Orchid Designs are the only brand that have the patented micro rim on their mold sets, and it is an amazing feature. It is very helpful. I'm very frugal, and when I get my clay out, this is all I have to play with, so I don't want to waste it. I don't want to waste it. And with that micro rim, you don't overfill. You can just clean that edge off with your thumb, so that when you demold, when you take it out of the mold set, you have a beautiful finished edge. A beautiful finished edge. Now, I'm sorry if I kept that out of your visual. I'm trying to keep it out of the fan and the heat because I don't want it to dry too quickly. All right, I'm gonna let that sit there for just a minute because I want to use this clay while I have it in my hand. And we're gonna go, that's for sunflowers. This is gonna be for the birds. That's gonna be really big though, isn't it? But that's okay. You know what? It's the center section. That's right, it's the center section that makes the difference. So we're gonna go ahead and spin that around. Y'all, it's gonna look so good. I'm excited. I am. All right, let's do this one. Little bit. And you don't have to overfill the cavity to get a good finished mold. You can be a little bit frugal with your product. It's okay. I'm not gonna judge you for doing that. I'm gonna say, you know what, I do the same thing. I learned a really neat technique from the IOD sisters when they were showing us some of the ways to use the first generation singles. So you put a light finish in your mold, a light finish of material. You don't have to cake it up. You do a light finish in there, put it in. Let me see if I can find a brush I can do it with. Yeah, right here. And then you take a paintbrush. Watch this happen, watch. And you just tink it down in. You don't want to shred it. You're just using a very thin layer of clay. Now when I beat it down, so it looks like I put it through the meat tenderizer. I need a little bit more clay, but you just tink it down inside the cavity and you get this amazing finish without using so much material, because I am really frugal with my clay. It is, it hasn't gone up much. Our prices have not increased this year. Maybe $1 a product, because our shipping expenses have been so insane. But our products are still about the same price that they were about a year and a half ago. Well, about a year ago. I think we went up a year ago. And so I've tried to hold steady. I've tried hard to hold steady so that you can still afford to have fun and do the projects that you want to do without spending every dime you have. Let's not talk about eggs. Let's not talk about them. We don't want to talk about eggs. So let's just finish filling these cavities in. This one right here, a little bit more, a little bit more. And then I'll take that brush again. Let me smush this. I'll take that brush again and I'll tamp it a little more gently this time, but I'll tamp it down into the cavities. And I've got a missed spot right there, but it's okay. Oh no, I didn't miss it. That's outside the edge. Okay, I'll just rub it so it's smooth. If you do this and it won't come out gently, pop that thing in the freezer for about 15 minutes. Yes, you did, Lynette. But God and everybody else is paying just stupid amounts of money for eggs. I can't believe the increase in prices. My air dry clay has not gone up. There we go. I don't think in a year. I think a year ago I had to go to a little bit higher price point, and I have held pat. All right, let's demold. We're running out of time and we want to play things. Play things. I really want to get this on that jar. This one's going to be for the sunflowers. So sometimes when you demold, especially when you have manipulated the clay, you have to manipulate the mold to get it out. So you just do a gentle push and pull. The mold is silicone. You're not going to tear it by doing this. Use your hands gently. Can you see it okay? Use your hands gently to demold, because you don't want to tear your clay either. Now the clay, you can tear. The mold, not so much. You're not going to tear that silicone. And it's going to come out and it's not going to be shaped right. But look at our frame now. This is for the sunflowers. So let me set this over. And let's demold this. This is for the birds. Simply beautiful birds. And I'm going to tear just a little bit of it, I can tell. But I'm going to move the mold so that I come at it from a little bit different angle. There we go. There's just a little hole. It's okay. It'll give us a little bit of an aged finish on the framework. Push and pull, gently bob it if you need to. Use your hand. If it gives you a fit, throw it in the freezer. That'll teach it. That'll teach it. All right, get out your Quick and Thick. I do have Aleene's tacky glue, and I'll tell you something, I love Aleene's, I do. But I love this better, and I just bought a fresh bottle, so... Whew, that fan is loud, isn't it? Sorry. Sorry. All right, let's do our sunflowers first. Our decoupage is still a little bit damp in some high spots. That's okay. I'm going to take my tape to cradle my jar, and I'm going to take my casting, and hopefully, there we go, my glue will come out. I've got a really thin hole cut because I was working on something. I didn't want globs of glue coming out. I needed just a little thin line, because you can cut this, you can cut it open big, but I try not to do that. All right, let's do this. And when I get done here, not only do I have to open the store, it's 10:03, but I've got to call my sister Laura back, because I was on the phone with her last night while I was delivering. Look, y'all, look. And I told her I'd call her back, but just like a true Southerner, I'll call you back in a little while is going to be today. I love that. Now, look at our looking glass jars. And I know you can't see all the way up in there, and I got glue on the front of it, but look at those sunflowers pop behind that glass. So I'm going to wash my hands off. I'm going to unlock the doors just in case Lynette is coming over. I do use cornstarch in my molds, Miss Judy, but then again, I really don't. I have it. I have found ever since Iron Orchid Design changed the formula on this clay several years ago, I really haven't had to use cornstarch. I don't want to use cornstarch particularly because I find that it dries the clay out too fast. It might help it release, but it dries the clay out. It pulls the moisture out of it, and then I get a lot of cracks, and I don't always want those cracks. Will you come on over and see me? My IOD wall is a hot mess. It's empty, absolutely empty. Do you want to put this on real quick? I would love to put this on real quick. I'm late anyway, so if I'm gonna be late, I might as well be big late. Let's see. Before we put it on for real, let's look and see how this is gonna fit. Before I glue it, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna trim a little bit more because I still have some decoupage across the bottom right there. So, Lynette, you come on over. I'm gonna flip that over and then I will glue it, and we will have a lovely, lovely time. All right, look, I'll show you this solo view. Empty IOD wall. Getting ready for a big reset today. Getting ready for the brand new items to come in. No, I don't find much difference either, Miss Judy. And honestly, it's just a matter of playing with it and getting used to it. All right, from that to that. Look again. From that to that. What an amazing difference. And you remember that china cabinet? Oh, it's so pretty, so pretty. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it so much. I've been trying to clean up while I'm resetting and putting out new inventory and setting the furniture, and we're getting it all worked on. Today's a great day to come visit. It is the last day for the discount on the Colors of Love. Don't miss out on that. It is the last day of the out with the old, in with the new IOD sale. Buy one retiring product, buy one not retiring product, save 20% on each one. You can't get them any other way. Well, you can, but you won't get the discount. I'm just funny like that. Thank you for being here for Coffee and Create at Two Girls Treasure. I'm gonna drink my coffee while I unlock the doors. Y'all come see me. Thanks so much for being here.